Test 1, 2. You got me? Test 1, 2. You got me? I just heard myself. Test 1, 2. You got me? I just heard myself. Test 1, 2. You got me? I just heard myself. Test 1, 2. You got me? I just heard myself. Test 1, 2. You got me? I just heard myself. Dude, if you can hear me, I can't hear you. Dude, if you can hear me, I can't hear you. Dude, if you can hear me, I can't hear you. But for some reason, I can hear myself. Multiple times. Dude, if you can hear me, I can't hear you. But for some reason, I can hear myself.
Alright, can anyone hear me now? Alright. According to this, I am sending audio. And I've muted my mixer window, which was causing the loop. and I can hear myself in that. So try again. Can anyone in the Discord talk?
Meme Maker Supreme, it's closer to the ocean.
Oh, we don't want this.
Pretty baby doll, not to dampen it, but I still can see teens as a subspecies, because it's just aging.
What?
Juice for the juice god, sounds about right for a wharf.
Alright, so that's not working. I don't know if you can hear me, but I can hear me now. Alright, so that's not working. I've got this app that's supposed to read the chat back to me, and it's reading the chat for every single Discord I'm subscribed to, all at the same time. So that's fun. So, I'll spend a quick 5 minutes on showing off this and get back into what we're planning on doing. So, this is my ship. It is an Asp Explorer. And I am on my way to the furthest colony in the game. Yes, can you hear me?
Alright, I'm back. You hear me?
I heard you. Still can't hear me, huh? I'm not muted. Control to talk. Shift to talk. Shift to talk.
There we go.
That's what it is. Okay.
I turned that off, dude. I just have it voice activated, so I start talking and it picks me up.
Yeah, I might have to try that.
Here, you go to user settings and then voice and video, and that gives you the option to do push to talk or whatever else.
All right, testing 1, 2. Cool. So
There you are.
did you mute the stream? Because now you would hear me twice.
No, I left the
Okay,
stream because I could hear myself.
I muted the stream on my preview window, so that shouldn't happen anymore.
All right, hang on. Let me fire it back up. I just heard you say that again in the past.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
okay, go ahead and mute.
I can hear
the
my
stream
echo
and keep
again.
watching it, because we're in chat together, so we can just use audio for that. Okay.
All right, I just muted
So,
it.
this is my ship.
So,
This is
what
Elite
am I?
Dangerous.
Okay.
This is my ship. I'm using my mouse to look around, but I could use a VR helmet, the Oculus, to do it as well. This is my ship, the Asp Explorer, that I've named Sojourner.
Good
And
name.
then this is the Galaxy.
Hang on, there's a little bit of a delay.
So, opening up the Galaxy map. That's the Elite Dangerous Galaxy. And
That's
Yes.
slightly gigantic.
contains every known star and some procedurally generated stars to fill in the gaps of where we don't know. And if I went
Sure.
back home,
Jeez.
zoom into the solar system by searching for Sol. I'm watching the preview on the side window so I know how much the delay is. And I switch to Power Play. And the game has, if I remember right, 11 factions that control different areas, and all the players in the game have the option of aligning with one of these factions. And each week, everyone in the faction gets to vote, are we going to fortify our existing ones? Are we going to try and expand into another system or take over someone else's? And I was on a Discord with all the members of the Alliance faction, and we coordinated every week. We placed our votes in the same way, so we always maintained, never lost footing. So that's the green area at the top of the bubble. So all the known systems, all the main populated systems are in this area called the bubble. And then there is a colony out here to the, I don't know if you'd call it west, but once we zoom out, about where my cursor just was, kind of pointing up here, this is Colonia. That's the furthest colony, and it was sort of a rite of passage if you could travel out there or even travel around the whole galaxy. And then they started putting in stations along the way to make it easier to get out there. And the galaxy, or the solar system I made up for my sci-fi that I'm writing is out here much further to the west, so I'm going to go out to Colonia first and then hop across into unexplored territory and see if I can find one of these procedurally generated systems that matches the one I made up.
All right. Headed out to wild space.
Exit the map, back into the ship, and basically looking at my navigation panel, I've got 10 jumps to go before I'm at the next station. Here comes the wifey.
Who you talking to?
Dan from work. So camera's looking that way.
Oh yeah, you got a bigger.
Hello.
Yeah. It's actually Mixer.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's going through OBS and then through Restream.io and then into Mixer.
Oh, hey, Brian, by the way, I talked to Jules. We are to go for July 4th.
Cool.
Yeah, tell Allison I'll have her proxies ready.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to be playing for a while, so that's fine. Okay, she's just checking on dinner plans. Alright, so 10 jumps to go. Cool. Let's get back. So that's my next target there. So aim, start up the faster than light drive. It spools up. You can see the star system I'm in at the moment.
So it's a pure just exploration game, kind of like No Man's Sky.
Trade, combat, a whole bunch of stuff. And you could just do power play, which is fighting the different factions against each other. In which case, you could go explore a bunch of places, gather data, and take it back to a station and sell it to your faction, which makes you money and ranks you up, which gives you more voting power. Or you could go into combat and fight your faction's enemies. Or you could trade and take missions to scan certain places. And there's all kinds of things you can do. But all of that is within the bubble.
Neat.
If you want to just go explore, you can explore anywhere in the galaxy.
Well, that's the sun you almost ran into.
The way the ship knows where to go is flying towards the sun. So when I come out of warp, I come out of warp pretty close to it.
It seems kind of dangerous.
That's why you can't look away and just leave the game playing. Or you go over to the control panel, ship, AI, hyperspace dethrottle on. And in a second, the screen will show that. There it goes. So here's the cruise control, and I can set hyperspace dethrottle. So every time I come out of hyperspace, it'll throttle down to 0, and I won't fly into the sun if I'm not paying attention.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Adding more and more cruise control features. Like there's one where you can have it pilot you into the station for you and land. But it takes up a module in the ship.
System scan complete.
Yeah.
I assume you can only have so many of those.
You can have more stuff. Yeah. So
It's a beautiful game.
is the reason I got the high resolution over the high frame rate. So
Makes
looking
sense.
at this, I could target it and scan it for more info. I'm running my scanner now to scan the whole system, get basic info like how many planets, how many moons, and we're in the system with one sun. That's great.
Mhm.
So with the HUD on, I can see that ring
Sure.
is the... it's not showing it yet. In a second, there it is. That ring is the gravitational well of the sun. If I fly into that, it's really a sphere, but you're seeing the ring of it. If I fly,
Yeah, if you fly
if I
into
fly
that, you're done
my
for,
ship
pretty
will
much.
automatically drop out of super cruise and wait to cool down, and then tell me turn around. Okay, now we'll start up super cruise and fly away. Yep,
So right now you're slingshotting.
and my heat levels are going crazy
Taking heat damage.
for some reason. Oh, I'm trying to follow. If you look at my radar, to the left of it, between the radar and the hologram of the sun, there's a little ball with a blue dot at the top.
Little ball.
As I
with
move
blue
here,
dot.
the blue dot moves towards the center. That is
I see it.
my
I see
target
it.
in 3D
Yeah.
space, so I can tell if it's behind me or above me or whatever. I was trying to follow it. My target is the sun, so of course it's always going to be above me if I'm slingshotting around the sun. So that was dumb.
Okay.
Next, so I use this program called Voice Attack that lets me do voice commands too. So a lot of the keyboard controls
Nice.
I don't have memorized because I just do the voice controls. So let's get that up and running. Verity. Not responding yet.
And this would be breathtaking
And
in
that's why I
VR.
spent like 3 or 4 hours playing it last night. Alright,
I
Verity.
can imagine.
She's not responding, which means it's not working, or it's just not playing back sound. Let's try next system en route. Nope, she's not working. So we'll have to figure out what the button was to do it. Where is it?
So there's some dogfighting in this as well.
Generally only go dogfighting if I have other players to play with who know what they're doing and have humongous
Sure.
humongous powerful
Have what?
ships.
The dogfight, I'd imagine a smaller fighter would be better. Do you have any of these add-ons?
Let's see. So I've got
DLC
Horizons,
pieces?
which allows planetary landing, and the rover. And I've got a couple cosmetic pieces, but there's not a lot of, as far as DLC, other than cosmetics, voice packs, things like that. Alright,
All right.
so it says we're plot. Okay, I think now it's set. There we go. That's one of the keyboard shortcuts I should learn. When I target a planet, I need to know how to get back to next system en route. Now she
System
responds.
destination
Okay.
locked.
There's my next system en route. So I get it in the reticle,
Alright.
charge up the FTL, and boom. Down in the bottom right, you can see my fuel gauge, where the little blue blip is. It's about to disappear as that fuel gets sucked into the tank. And if I'm flying around at just system speed, like impulse, that gauge will go down but slower. But
Much.
as I fly around the star, certain stars I can fly close to, and you see my fuel scoop engages.
Fuel scooping.
And that's why I do the slingshot in each system. And as I'm flying around the sun, scooping up, I'm also lining up where my next target is. And then as I get away from the sun, and that's in line, I watch my temperature go down, because when the faster than light drive spools up, it heats up. So I don't want to run up the FTL while I'm still close to the star. So I
Sure.
get far enough away from that. Generally, it's once the heat percentage starts going down. You can see left of the radar, just before. Yep.
Yeah, it's at 43, 41, 9.
Ready to engage.
Yep.
It's getting
That's the
hotter
FTL
all of a sudden. Oh, you're red.
So you got 3 flight modes. One is faster than light, which is to go from star to star, and that's really just loading screens. So once it jumps, you'll see
Mhm.
what the players call witch space. Star Wars fans would call hyperspace. Star Trek fans call warp drive,
Mhm.
warp speed. It's really just the loading screen.
Yep.
System scan complete.
Then we're in the star system. We're going technically relativistic speeds. You can see down by the radar, once the engine speeds up, we'll be in the fractions of the speed of light, a quarter the speed of light. So it's still technically relativistic. It's not normal.
Right, so you're at 0.23
Yep.
times the speed of light
And
there.
as you keep flying through the
Yes.
system, you get further away from the star. Maybe you're looking to go to one of the other planets. You can start accelerating to 10, 20, 50, 100 times the speed of light. And it's still going to take half an hour to get across an entire star
Sure.
system. But the whole star system
Jesus.
is mapped out. If I went over to system map, again, we're in a single star system. So nothing to see here. Once we get to a system with planets in it, we would see the planets here and we could travel to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's just a lone star in space.
In fact, if I looked at the galaxy map, maybe we're in a jump. So yeah, let's catch the delay. I'll zoom out. And you'll see the spiral arm that Earth and the bubble are in to the right, and the spiral arm just left of our position. That blue ring, light blue ring, is where we are. So we're just on the edge of a spiral arm.
Right.
So a lot of...
And it's just not going to be much out here.
And that's why if you have a smaller ship filled with weapons and shields and everything, and less on the fuel and the warp drive, you're not going to be able to make these large jumps in between the spiral arms. So I had to save up for this ship and dedicate it to long distance travel. Yes.
Can you have more than one ship?
In fact, have about a dozen ships.
Nice.
So this is my exploration ship. If you look on the right of the radar, you see the little 3D model of it. 99% is the hull strength, hull integrity. And those 2 white rings going around the ship would normally show the shield status. I have no shields.
You don't have shields on this ship?
Because that's just wasted space if I'm not going into combat.
Fuel scooping.
Can you
Good,
get
but
just
I usually
ambushed by
avoid
people, though?
At this point, this far out, the only people
Alright.
ambushing me are NPCs who think I have something worth stealing.
Fuel scooping.
And this far out, there's very few NPCs anyway.
Frameshift drive charging.
What kind of weapon systems do you have on your exploration ship?
No shields, no weapons.
Alright.
Like I said, I plan on not running into anybody out here. And so far it's worked.
And if things
Then
don't
I'll
go according to
go
plan?
and respawn at the last station I docked at. And if
With the
if I
with,
have enough money in
with
the
the
bank,
ship?
yes. So that's what they call
I
don't
see.
fly without rebuy. So I've got 73 mil,
see.
and this thing probably cost about 13 mil.
System scan complete.
Alright, well. I suppose it's worth the risk then.
4 jumps to
Efficient.
go, and we'll get to a station.
You can't get out till you go to a
If
station?
I left right now, it would save my place, but we're 4 jumps away, which is like 5 or 6 minutes.
Alright.
So you see there, I left the dethrottle, I turn that off, so as soon as we jump out of space, I just slightly re-aim, slingshot around the star, refill the tank, aim up the next target, immediately spool up the drive. Just get close
How do you
enough to
refill the
sun
tank?
and the fuel scoops automatically engage. It's like this. I can see my target is behind the sun there.
Oh, nice.
I line up against the gravity well here,
Mhm.
and the gauge automatically opens up.
All right, hang on.
So they're lining up the target, flying past the gravity well. Fuel scoop is almost full by the time I get far away from it. So close as to be pretty much full. And as soon as I start going away from
Nice.
the sun on the radar turns from orange to yellow. And I can hear the engine sound change a little bit. So those are my cues even before the temperature starts dropping. So I can spool up the drive right away.
Nice.
And next to the fuel gauge, you can see mass locked if we're close to a large planet. Like if we got within the gravity well of a planet, we would be mass locked, or if we were near a station.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a system here. Oh, I've been forgetting to scan. So one thing I do as I'm spinning around the sun is I hold my trigger, and instead of weapons, I have scanners equipped.
Okay, so you're looking for just planets that might
Yeah, so
be
the
useful.
knowledge that there are 4 bodies here can be sent to the cartographers back home. Actually, I have to land in a station and sell the data. And in fiction, the cartographers could then take that updated knowledge and say, all right, we know where the planets were last time a pilot flew through. We know where they are now. We can get a better idea of their orbits, or get a better map of the galaxy in general. And so that kind of cartography data is useful to the NPCs. And now we actually
Sure.
have a system to look at on the system map. 3 stars and 1 very hot planet.
Jeez, I imagine.
So this is the traditional mode. It would just show all the planets going from left to right. The little brackets on the left side indicate those top 2 stars spin around each other. And then the third star kind of orbits the first 2. So if I switch to orrery, you can kind of see that. There you go. The
Interesting.
orrery.
Oh. Then there's that one little planet that just is getting nuked constantly.
A, so we highlight A, zoom in even further, and now you can see it. And click, focus.
Interesting.
More. Now you can see the planet's orbit. That is a roaster.
Would not want to be there.
So sometimes, and especially now that I'm going to be going past Colonia off into uncharted space, I might find systems that no other human players have been to before, in which case I'll get credit for discovering them. Next time someone goes there, they'll see my name discovered by
Nice. And this is just one server for everybody who
but
plays?
everything gets saved to the same... No, everything is canon. So
Sure.
if I highlight one of these stars, you see first discovered by, and it shows the player name who first discovered it. And then even after discovering it, you can go up and scan it and send probes and fully map the surface and get another discovery credit. So there's 2 different people on this one.
Nice. Cool. Sorry, my
Okay.
my mic stand is old.
Yeah.
Keeps dropping up and down.
My old console habits. I've got a normal headset with a mic on it. clock up at the top right shows Universal Time, aka England, because the developers and most of the players are over in
Yeah.
England or other
Yeah.
European places.
Fuel scooping.
It makes it a little safer to explore
There are
around
no
here.
players online right now. Well, it's Saturday, so people could still be up at 1 a.m. But yeah, the big playtime
True.
for me was like 3 to 7 because it was late night for them and afternoon for me on the weekend.
Hmm.
All right, last jump.
Drive charging.
And I can zoom out on the radar. Doo-doo-doo. Where's my mouse keys? There. So I've got the mouse with the 6 buttons on it.
Nice.
Play. Hope I got that aimed right. But I've got the 2 top mouse buttons are triggers. The middle mouse button is to free look. And then the 6 side buttons I've got next target, last target,
Fuel scooping complete.
engage, warp drive, full stop, increase radar, decrease radar.
Hmm.
So we are now in the star system with the stations. So we'll go over to navigation. And there better be a station here because I was told there was. Attenborough's Watch. So there's another one of those cruise control modules I got installed. So I line up with the target, pull my throttle down to 50%, and the computer takes over. So it'll speed up and slow down as
Nice.
we get close. It'll drop us out of warp once we're within reasonable range, which is like 1,000 kilometers.
Hmm.
And you can see the yellow line streaking across the screen. That's the orbital path of the planet we're heading towards. So I could turn that off for prettiness. But then I lose the sphere around the sun. And I crash into the sun sometimes if I do that.
Right.
But the line's off. And now all we see are target reticles, and that's it. So it's a nicer view when you're surrounded by planets and moons and stuff.
Mm.
Another feature of the AI is if you're going to a planet or moon, it can enter orbit, and you can just watch as you just fly past it and just go around it.
Nice.
Oh, 100 light seconds away, 9 seconds at that speed. But as we get closer, we start slowing down. Even though we're getting closer, we're slowing down, so the time stays at 9 seconds. So it's a constant updated how long will it take to get there. So that's 009.
Nice.
Oh, and the rings, you can fly over them at Super Cruise. If you drop out of Super Cruise close to the rings, you'll actually see all the individual asteroids, and you can go up and mine them. And that's where a lot of the dogfighting happens.
Nice.
Yeah, this cruise control AI, the voice control program I have installed, both really helpful for playing this game in VR. Especially,
I imagine.
yeah,
Also makes it a lot more immersive.
can't see the keyboard.
So this planet is on the
It is
other side of these rings or in them?
Stupid. Flew me into the rings. So that's what the rings look like in normal space.
Neat.
sure. Yeah, we could probably fly through the rings. Is that or go back to Impulse and fly around the rings? It'd be more fun to fly through the rings. So each one of these rocks is actually there, and you can fly up to it and scan it. And if you have the right equipment, you can mine it.
Don't mind that at all.
My
I
first
like
ship,
mining.
when I started the game, you start with a little jet fighter. But my first ship I bought and equipped was a little mining tug.
It's a cool name for a space station.
Alright, made it through. Now, at this speed, it would take almost 8 hours to get there. So let's go back to warp speed. Frame shift canceled to mass lock because we're so close to so many asteroids. It won't let us go into warp. So next to the fuel gauge, you can see system, engineering, and weapons. So engine is what I use to do that afterburner boost. You have to wait for that to fill back up. Make an afterburner boost again. Now we're finally clear of the mass lock.
Drive charging.
So I can use my air keys to redistribute power. You can see there's 3 pips to systems, 3 pips to engineering, and no pips to weapons because I have no weapons.
Yep.
But if I had weapons, I'd want those, because that's how long it would take to cool down a mechanical weapon or how much energy you have for a energy weapon.
Right.
And systems includes the shields. And engines is self-explanatory.
So,
A little bit.
bit off target, aren't you?
Alright, I'm going to have to fly past it so I can actually turn around. So now I'm just orbiting it at this point. There we go. Safe disengage ready, but I want to get a little closer. So there you go. Safe disengage ready on your screen. I could drop out, but I'd be about
Right.
1,000 kilometers away. So I'm going to wait till I'm closer to 100 kilometers. And my mouse key did not work, so we flew right past it. So on your screen, you'll see me fly past again. Click, 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 nothing happening.
Yep.
Try dish again with the other key, maybe. Yeah, it was the other key. The full stop button is only for impulse, I guess. Or only for regular space. So there's the asteroid that the base, whatever you want to call it, the station, is established on. So I'll go over to contacts, request docking.
Request done. I'll transfer power to shields. Is that
Yes,
all right?
thank you. So one of the things of this voice command system is once it recognizes you're trying to dock, it'll say, "I'll transfer power to shields. Is that all right?"
Should I
Not
deploy
yet,
the
thank
landing
you.
gear?
It also offers to deploy the landing gear. But my cruise control is going to do that for me. So I don't need her doing it. So there you can see the station. the really cool part about it,
Oh, that's cool.
just the surface. The bulk of the station is in the asteroid.
Really?
So we line up with
That's
the mail slot.
cool. Yep.
Glide right in. You can see all the landing pads just carved out on the inside.
Landing gear
Yep.
deployed.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Yeah, I might have to pick this up.
3, 2, 1. Landed. Check out Starport Services. This is where you can see what they have for sale and what they'll buy off you if you want to do trading. So you can look at the mission board to see what they have for you to do, like go scan this area or go destroy this guy with a bounty on him. You could buy fuel here, which is what most people do if they don't have the fuel scoops. You can get your damage repaired, restocked. Yes.
Bounties, you say?
Find NPCs with bounties, or you can go into a combat zone, and there's general bounties like take out 20 enemies from this certain faction. And each system has like half a dozen different factions, and they're all vying for control of the station. So if you're allied with the station or allied with the faction that's in control of the station, you'll get better prices, more money for the stuff you turn in, things like that. And if the faction is part of your greater alliance, because there's 3 layers. There's the Alliance, Empire, and Federation. Then below that, there's the 11 main factions. And then there's the minor factions, which there's like half a dozen per star system. But this minor faction, like we're looking at Counselor Ira Mendoza. Are you still seeing the stream? Okay, it froze on mine.
Yeah.
So we're looking at Counselor Ira Mendoza, who's part of Lagoon Research Associates. And if I went to the mission board,
Okay.
we'd have stuff from him and his minor faction, plus the Friend Chaya Sergeant, or Colonia Council. The Colonia Council, the Lagoon Communist Society, and the Lagoon Research Associates. So if I wanted the Colonia Council to take over, my friends and I would all come take missions from Colonia Council and do their missions and get their influence upgraded until they took over.
Sure.
And if this were an alliance group versus a federation group versus an empire group, you might pick that depending on which one of those major powers you're in support of.
All right, so what factions are you a part of?
Specifically the Edmund Mahan. So if I go to my module over here, remember the controls, galactic powers, there's the 11 powers. I'm going to refresh my other screen so I can see the delay. Okay. So these are the 11 powers. I'm part of this group, Edmund Mahan. You can see each one of them has an alliance with Empire, Alliance, or Federation, or Independent. And so each one will have things they stand for, and that'll also reflect in what perks you might get from them. So the Alliance is in favor of trade, free arm of the market, stuff like that. So a lot of their stuff will be, like the flavor text will be providing trade agreements and other benefits, and Empire and Federation will be like talking about conspiracy and sending secret documents. And you can prepare by going to a system, grabbing papers and bringing them back to your headquarters. Or if you want to expand, you go to your headquarters, pick up propaganda papers, and take them to a system. And you prepare the systems to be taken over or fortify the ones you already have. And then once you do that for a week, you get a vote. You can vote consolidate or prepare. So, fortify or take over. And the more you do, the more votes you get.
Interesting.
And it just kind of snowballs week from week. And I haven't played this in months, so I'm back down to 0. Systems to expand. Control.
That's all right.
Stats.
That's really interesting, dude. I'm gonna have to look into this one.
Status.
So it might be pretty fun. Though I'm not sure I would join you with the alliance. I think I'm a little bit too militant for that sort of thing.
Maybe Empire. This guy looks like Bryan Cranston. Zachary Hudson,
guy?
Federation. Like Breaking Bad.
A little.
Alright.
Anywho, you want to jump into to Pub?
Here, and I've got a save point. Load up Universal Cartographics. Here's.
Alright, and now you get to see how sucky I am at this.
It's taken a long time. If I sold my data, I would get 1.6 million credits just for all the scans I did on the way here.
Is that all?
I made 1.6 last night too. So that's free money just for
Nice.
the horn as you go through the star system.
Huh.
But yeah, there are people who will go to these other websites that show you all the stations, everything that's available at the station, the going rates. And you could even say, I'm at this star system, I'm going to this star system. And it'll say, all right, buy corn here. Go to the next system. Sell the corn and buy wheat. Go to the next system. Sell the wheat and buy microconductors. Go to the next system. Sell the microconductors and buy, leather. And it'll tell you what to buy and sell at each point to make the most profit on the trip you're already going to make.
Seems good.
Okay.
Here I'm